Egyptian IT specialists immigrated to America after the Six-Day War of 1967. Butros Hanna went on to have a successful career and a fulfilling life in the United States as an engineer and manager in the telecommunications industry, working in his field both in American and European branches of many large US companies. In January 2003, after a 2-year assignment in Brussels, he retired from his latest job to start a whole new career as a writer, beginning his path towards publication. His published book, entitled From Feast to Famine, collects some of the many stories written by the author in almost a decade. We are here today to discuss the book together with the author, Butros Hanna, who's right now connected with us. Hi, Butros, and welcome to Conoscere TV.
Good morning to everybody and welcome.
So, let's talk about the book, please. What is From Feast to Famine about? How would you introduce the book?
Well, it's a story and it's a true story where most Egyptians felt is how a populist leader, Nasser, an army officer, took over power in 1952 and he destroyed the country. A country that had a fantastic economy, that was an international country in the sense that in the cities of Cairo, Alexandria, there were cities composed of many different communities: Muslims, Copts, Jews, Syro-Lebanese, Maronites, as well as Italian, French, Greek, Maltese, Cypriot export. All did this business together with endless cups of coffee. And then Nasser came, they had a coup d'etat in 23rd of July, 1952. And during the 17 years tenure, he destroyed the country. Egypt used to be the breadbasket of the Mediterranean. He had his land reform laws where he took over all the cotton plantation and gave them 2 acres to a peasant here and a peasant there. He had free education, including university education for all the villages. So all of a sudden, thousands and thousands of young peasants left the countryside and moved to Cairo and Alexandria and had a quick university education and became government functionaries. In a sense that he destroyed the agricultural industry. Among the things he did, he nationalized all the industries and created government industries that were obsolete, like the iron and steel industry in a very elegant winter resort about 10 miles out far from Cairo. He destroyed the institutions of the country, including a parliamentary system with a limited tenure of government, opposition parties, free press, and replaced it with a military dictatorship that lasted 60 years. The sad thing is that there has been 3 generations of Egyptians today who know nothing else but dictatorship. He killed small businesses and created an inflated government bureaucracy. And then one of the worst things is he managed to destroy the whole Middle East. He had his secret police go into countries like Iraq. Iraq was a peaceful kingdom. And they had a coup d'etat similarly. The problem was Nasser had the dream of becoming the chief or the leader of the Arab world. He ignited the war with Israel, and in the end, as a punishment for Egypt, they had the Six-Day War, which was the most disastrous thing that could have happened to Egypt. The Israeli army destroyed Egypt in 3 days. They destroyed the Egyptian army, They took over all the Sinai Peninsula. They were across the Suez Canal, and and then I don't really know because that was the time when I left. I was I had my military service and then left Egypt.
Thank you, Butros, for this presentation. You really detailed the book for the readers. Now, to conclude this chat about the book, what would you like to tell your readers now that you have the chance to?
The message I would like to hear is I wrote that book because of the suffering that all the affluent families in Egypt went through because of the revolution. And the one thing that touched me a lot is that in the year 2002, when I retired, my wife and I went to visit Luxor. We stayed in the Winter Palace Hotel, and in front of the Winter Palace Hotel, and of course in the hotel, all the servants knew me from the time we were kids because we used to go every winter. And my wife and I were walking in the shopping at the entrance of the hotel. There are several shops, and a young man, very well dressed young man, came, took my hands, and started kissing my hands. I was taken aback. I was embarrassed and taken aback, and told him, "Please stop it, don't do that." And then he noticed my wife, who is a Belgian blonde, and he started talking to her in French, and he explained to her that my grandfather had educated his father, who was a peasant. He was the son of a peasant, and his father managed to get a university, accept at the university in Cairo, and my grandfather sent him to Cairo with all the expenses paid, and that's how he managed to become an attorney, and that's why he did it. And you know, we went back to Cairo, and my wife insisted. He said, "This is a fascinating story. I really would like you to write it." And I thought about writing it as a personal history, but he said, "No, there will be too many people that will not like it. Better make it into a novel."
Thank you for your presentation and thank you for your time today. We
Thank
really
you.
want to wish you best luck with this book.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the help I got from Europe Book, and especially from you. You have done a super job.
Thank you, Butros. Really appreciate it. From Fist to Famine by Butros Hanna is now available in bookstores and digital platforms, a publication by Eurobox.